What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The welterweight division is stacked. Now, yesterday I dropped a video. Make sure you check it out. Keith Thurman, a welterweight conversation, hashtag new media. We got 7,000 views and a lot of dialogue about this man here. In the video, I was talking about different things. You can, again, check the whole video for the full breakdown. But I was basically talking about Keith Thurman. Off of the Shawn Porter Thurman fight, it was remarkable. A lot of people talking about Thurman. A lot of people condemn Al Heyman, PBC, the whole structure, said, oh, why didn't he sign with Rock Nation? And now it looks like it's apparent that he's making noise. And Premier Boxing Champs, you got guys like Errol Spence Jr., you got guys like Keith Thurman. They're making noise. People are talking about him. They're trending topics. Now, Keith Thurman, today, there's another PBC card, a smaller card, much smaller card on Fox Sports 1. Tonight, Keith Thurman was a guest. He was with Brian Custer, and they were asking him, like, hey, tell us about your fight. He said Porter came to bring it. I tried to go for the knockout. I stunned Porter a couple times, but he's tough, and he brought it. So I enjoyed that. And they said, what's next for Keith Thurman? Keith Thurman says, I really want to unify the division. Welterweight's popping, and there's another undefeated guy named Danny Swift Garcia. That's what he says he wants. And he wants that. He said, I think that could be huge, and that could be possibly in the near future. So, I mean, I'm loving this from the fighters. The division is way too stacked, and this is the type of thing that we need, a Super 6, a round-robin style tournament to establish who's the best successor to Mayweather and Pacquiao. Those guys, they're probably going to peek their head in, possibly fight, but we already know what they've done, and we know their history. Who's the best out of these young crop of fighters? And it's just really shaping up. If they can get the Jesse Vargas versus Kell Brook fight done, that is a unification. Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia, two undefeated fighters. Somebody's O has to go, and that is another unification. Now, I don't know how that will happen exactly. Danny Garcia is the champion, or WBC champion. I talked to the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman. He told me that Khan, even though he jumped up to fight Canelo at Canelo weight at 155, hi, what's Barton ready? That Khan is still in line for that welterweight mandatory shot, a rematch versus Danny Garcia. So I don't know how that will work. I don't know exactly what the WBC agreement is. If Garcia can pursue any other options other than Amir Khan, I don't know. Since Khan was brutally knocked out in his last fight, I don't know if Khan immediately wants to fight a guy like Danny Garcia next in a rematch, a guy who has already stopped him. So those are questions that we'd have to wait and find out. Danny Garcia did have a subliminal response on his Instagram. Make sure you guys follow him, Danny Swift Garcia, and he posted a picture of him with the WBC belt, and the caption reads, Unified 140 division, and he has an emoji of a trophy. Looking forward to unifying my second division at 147. Hashtag Team DSG. Hashtag Don't Believe Me, Just Watch. This is excellent stuff. Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia. If they can get it done, bravo. I did, in the last video I did about Keith Thurman, I told you guys if he does fight Berto next, I'm okay with that. There's a good stylistic matchup, and we got to see what Danny Garcia is made of at welterweight. He says, don't believe me, just watch, but we still got to see him. So if he wants to get his feet wet a little bit more before facing a Keith Thurman, that's great. If he feels he's already acclimated with the Malignaggi and the Robert Guerrero performance, and he wants to just jump in the pool with the Keith Thurman, that's his option. I'm not gonna knock it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna not watch the fight. So of course, it really depends on his team. But I think it is fair since he's coming up from 140. If he gets another solid name like a Berto under his belt, see if he can get past him. And if he can, then unify. And then that fight by that time will be bigger if Keith Thurman obviously retains his title. So it's getting down to the wire. Who you have a couple. You got Thurman, Garcia, Vargas, Kell Brook. You have Errol Spence, and it's starting to shave down. If those fights are made, it'll start shaving down to see the who's who of the current crop of young welterweight talent. So I like this response from Danny Garcia 58 minutes ago, right after Keith Thurman said what he said on Fox Sports 1. And I like Keith Thurman, his just overall attitude for the division. He was already in a tough fight with Porter, and he's calling out Danny Garcia. So that's the first step to getting some of this stuff done. Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, hell of a fight. I fully support it, and I fully support good unification matches, right? Fights that should be made, and I mean, you can't complain. Thurman put up his undefeated record against a guy with one loss in Shawn Porter, who pushed him to the limit, his toughest fight to date. And if he fights a guy who's undefeated, even though people think Danny Garcia has maybe a couple gift decisions in there, fact of the matter is, go to his box rec, he's undefeated, and he's a good fighter. Drop in the comment section, let me know what you think. Keith Thurman once again calls out Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia drops that subliminal hint, subliminal message about unifying at a new division, welterweight. Let me know what you think. Share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off. Okay, and just to clarify, you did say that Amir Khan, win or lose, he's still the mandatory at welter for Danny Garcia?
Win or lose, he's a mandatory for Danny Garcia. That was a pre-agreement, and we're going to honor it.
Awesome. And what's the timeline of after this fight to make that fight with Garcia?
Let's wait. Let's just see what happens.
Okay.
There's some variables, so let's wait to see what happens tomorrow night.
Okay, but he does hold his position,
Absolutely.
which is awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.